it comes to diversifying my mythology reading, I'm a work in progress. If that sounds like you too, then this video is here to help. My first mythology love was Greek mythology. So my mythology reading has largely been dominated by that pantheon. But there's a whole world of mythology out there, and I've been working over the years to broaden my mythology horizons. So in this video, I'm going to give you some methods to diversify your mythology reading and give you some book recs along the way. The first and potentially the easiest way to diversify your mythology reading is to train an algorithm to do it for you. Don't let me lose you. I'm not talking about coding your own mythology diversity system and watching it spit out recommendations, although that would be cool. Instead, I'm talking about good old social media. Algorithms work by showing you more of the things you like. So if you want to see more diversity, you know what you have to do. Interact with more diverse voices. But don't just passively scroll. Train your algorithm by liking, sharing, and commenting on people who read or share diverse books. When you find a post or video that hits the mark, click the like button, drop a comment, save it, and share it with friends. By doing this, you'll literally tell the algorithm that you want more of that kind of thing, and it will give it to you. You know that's why you see so many cat videos. Okay, but where do you start? Well, I have some recommendations. On Instagram, check out Zai Rambles. She creates content on Black authors and specializes in African mythology. She even has a book club dedicated to the topic. Also on Instagram are Adjua and Solomon, who also create content on African mythology and folklore. Included in this mix are some gorgeous art pieces and a whole podcast all about African mythology. On YouTube, there are plenty of content creators publishing videos on mythologies other than Greek. Jessie on YouTube has a fantastic video on African fantasy books. The Melodramatic Bookworm has one on mostly Indian mythology. And Christina has one on East Asian fantasy and myth. I will leave a link to all these people and videos down in the description. Okay, so that's stage one, and I recommend you do this regardless because you'll find some amazing recommendations and content by doing so. But let's say you want more. You want more recommendations. Well, we can search for them on platforms like Goodreads and the Storygraph. Both sites are filled to the brim with books, so let's use that by searching for the things that we want. For Goodreads, the easiest way to do this is to search for it. We'll start by typing diverse mythology into the search bar. You'll notice it doesn't come up with a lot, so we're going to use one of the features I quite like on Goodreads, lists. Here you'll see a selection of lists users have put together containing all sorts of books you may not have discovered otherwise. I encourage you to be a little bit more specific than just typing mythology. Instead, you can get more specific with terms like East Asian mythology or African mythology to get the best book recommendations. On the Storygraph, I recommend something slightly different. Rather than searching for books like we would do on Goodreads, we're going to use one of the Storygraph's inbuilt features to find the best recommendations. If you didn't know, the Storygraph has a cool feature where it gets to know your reading tastes through a survey. You fill it out and the Storygraph uses it to deliver recommendations to you. So let's use this to our advantage. First, we'll find the survey itself. Click on your profile image at the top right and click Preferences. Then scroll down until you reach Recommendations and click the Review Reading Preferences button. This will take you to the survey. The survey will ask you about your favorite genres, preferences, and more. What we're going to do is tweak it to get the best possible outcome for our diverse mythology needs. As you can see right now, I have a setup that's pretty basic. I ask for specific genres, mention I want Greek mythology, and have some preferences. But if I'm honest, this doesn't quite give me the recommendations that I actually want. In fact, it gives me some kind of basic recommendations that I'm probably not actually going to read. So let's fix that. First, I'm going to remove dystopian from this list and add in historical. Sadly, there's no mythology or folklore genre, so we'll make sure to be specific about that later. After this, we get to add some reference reads. In this, we'll add some of our favourite mythology books to date. For me, I'm going to add The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, Children of Blood and Bone, The Stardust Thief, and Iron Widow. You can add these two or any diverse books based on mythology you've read so far. These will have a heavy influence on your final results. Next, we'll pick the characteristics we like. I'll leave these pretty much the same, but make sure to customize them to suit you. For genres I don't want, I'm going to try and include one or two things here I think will remove the non-fiction books from my recommendations. In this case, I don't really want education, I want story. Next, I'll outline the things that I don't want to see. Again, I'm going to keep this pretty much the same. Lastly, we'll get really specific. Open up the advanced section and here we'll input some keywords. I'm keeping Greek mythology, but I'm adding African, East Asian, world, diverse, and more. I could keep going with this list and get really specific if I wanted to, but that'll do for now. Now let's see what this gives us. That's a whole lot better. With these recommendations, they could be improved even more with some tweaks, but overall, I'm much happier. They're an excellent place to start, and the more you read of these books, the more the platform will feed you. Now there's one more thing I want to show you in terms of finding more diverse books, and it's one of the things I think the story graph does particularly well, and that's looking at similar books. Let's say you read a mythology book that ticked all of your diversity boxes and you want to read more like that. What you can do is go on the books page on the story graph and click the Browse Personalized Similar Books link. This will show you a selection of books that are similar to the one you like and also customized by your reading history. If you click See Non-Personalized Similar Books, you'll get a list of books that are similar but not personalized to you. I can't tell you how many amazing books I found just using this really simple technique. So before we go, I promised some recommendations to get you started. The books you see on screen right now are the ones that I've read and loved, so pause to take note. The books you see on screen now are books on my TBR and are ones I'm very excited to read. Do you have any more recommendations to add to this list or any other ways you get more diversity into your reading life? Leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.